Hello everyone, RPG Kingdom Kid here, bringing you some more Steins Gate. In the previous part we found out what that lifter was, and now we're gonna do more experiments. And we got hit on the head by Mr. Barum finally. So yeah. Also, this is not where we left off with the words, because when I did my sign off thing, I was like, okay, time to save, and as I reached for my controller, it fell down. And of course, any button on here besides, I believe, circle. Yep, besides circle, square, and the trigger buttons, the left ones, the right ones will go fast, advances the text. So, needless to say, of course, when your controller falls, at least the analog sticks would be moving, and depending on how it lands, it might land on the on a trigger. Oh, yeah. I mean, I could go back to the last save, but that was quite a ways away, and I don't remember all the stuff I replied to in the emails for. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Are you okay? Dad hit you pretty hard. I'll have you know that my brain is more valuable than the Mona Lisa. Your father may have set humanity back 100 years by wiping out my brain cells. Such a regrettable loss. Suzuha claps her hands in solemn prayer. I'm not dead, just my brain cells. No, your brain cells were dead long ago. I'm sorry, Daddy did something bad. Chipmunk, what a gentle heart you have. Can't believe she's Mr. Barnes' daughter. I suppose I share some of the blame. Your father and I are even. Nay smiles slightly at my words of comfort. Now then, part-time warrior, I have a request of you. You and Mary-chan don't go places together. You're both lab members, and I heard you were childhood friends, so I thought... I'm sorry if I misunderstood. P.S. I did theory practice when it's a or I die. I did not need to open that one. I need you to distract Mr. Barnum for about 5 seconds. So that eye starts to shine. You mean seduce him? She flexes her bicep for some reason. Go on, touch it. She insists, so I poke it. It's just as hard as her confidence suggests. She's probably stronger than me. I don't understand what flexing has to do with seduction. Nobody said anything about seduction. It doesn't matter how you do it. I'm not much of a warrior if I can't handle that. Besides, you said you'd help me search for my father, right? I'm only returning the favor. I see. Then I leave it in your capable hands. Okay, dokie. Suzuha, don't be mean to Daddy, okay? Don't worry, I won't be mean. Indeed. I want to complain that he's the one being mean, but I just said we were even, so I refrain. Wait here, Nay. Chipmunk nods. When we entered the store, we found Mr. Barum cleaning up the pieces of the broken CRT. When our eyes meet, another vein pops from Alan's forehead. If you came to apologize, I'll listen. But your rent's going up, understand? I'm sorry about what happened. I overreacted. And as a token of my apology, my lab representative, Amane Suzawa, would like to present you with a gift. Boss, get ready! With a vigorous shout, which in no way seems appropriate for seduction, Suzawa whips off her jacket and... Yeah! The fuck? Yeah! Throws it into Mr. Brown's face. The fuck is even going on? I can see her bra. No, wait. That's not a bra, but a tight tank top that leaves her midriff bare. Yet Suha shows no sign of embarrassment as she rushes Mr. Barum. She slips behind him, grabs her coat, and pulls it tight against his face. Okabe Ryutaro, now's your chance. Now wait just a second. Is this your idea of seduction? Looks like you're trying to suffocate him. Hurry! Mr. Barham flails his arms trying to escape Suza's restraint. There's a huge difference in strength between the two. It's only a matter of time before he shakes Suza's off. Well done, warrior. Your heroism will be remembered. Realizing that the only choice is to go for it, I dash to the counter, grab the remote, and switch on the 42-inch CRT. About 2 seconds, an image appears on the giant screen. At the same time, the ceiling starts shaking. Kurisu activated the phone wave with perfect timing. It's shaking again. Okay, Ryutaro, what's going on? Did she really take off her clothes without knowing why? You never told her! You're a lifesaver, part-time warrior. If you can, keep him restrained for 10 more seconds. By that time, I skipped the store. Outside, Nate's following the earthquake drill procedure, crouching while protecting her head. I ignore that and look up to the second floor. At exactly the same time, Kurisu appears at the window and gives me a happy thumbs up. But a second later, she blushes, shooting me a glare, and disappears inside as if nothing had happened. What's with her attitude? I'm risking my life here. In any case, the experiment was a success. The 42-inch CRT was the key, as I suspected. Now, how do I explain this to Mr. Barham? Don't want him to kick us out of the building. Perhaps I should have left it to Suza. Finally peeking the door to gauge the situation. Come on, boss. Give me back my jacket. She was there fidgeting with her tank top as Mr. Barham glances down at her. Shut up. I'm confiscating this. You pervert. You're the pervert. Throwing your shirt in my face like some kind of dancer? That's pretty kinky. Gotta remember to thank Okabe after I kill him. Kinky? Don't say things like that. It's gross. It's gross. Anyway, you can work like that for the rest of the day. Go stand out front and use that flat tummy of yours to attract customers. I'll tell Nay on you. Who's you gonna believe? You are her old man. Damn. No problems here. Suza's seduction strategy worked, I guess. Mr. Barham, what a guy. No, I was thinking of naming this as just seduction strategy, but after a while, it probably is not going to matter. I mean, I probably could. A little while later, I'm laying on the sofa watching high school baseball. Kumarato and Achi are locked in a fierce struggle for the playoffs. Just then the clack of the sewing machine in the lounge suddenly stops. Orkarin, can you come here? She motions to me while holding the costume. What does she want? I walk over to her. Can you hold this for me? Spread it out like whoop. Mayushi. Say whoop again. Whoop. I got a flop. Stop it already, perv. Follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume out by the sleeves. She inspected from a few paces away. It's hard to believe given her usual distantness, but Mayuri is very serious about her art. That's why cosplayers value her costume so highly. The costume I'm holding now is custom made for Lukako. I thought Lukako was against it, but I guess Mayuri managed to persuade her. Okay, thanks. Mayuri looks tired. She's been working all night. But that doesn't dim the brightness of her satisfied smile. Finished! It's done? Yep, I finished before Krishi-chan. We were racing. You win, Mayuri. Congratulations. Damn you, assistant. She treats me and Daru like garbage, but Mayuri gets the sisterly touch. Actually, I'm just about finished too. Kirisi connects the 2 cords she's holding. Done. Celebration is in order. But nobody cheers. It's a tie. Man, I'm tired. I want Fairstone to comfort me. Honestly, I don't feel like cheering either. It's not because I'm tired. But worked around the clock for 3 straight days to finish the time leap machine. But now that it is complete, I realize that part of me never truly believed it would happen. I feel my enthusiasm cooling rapidly, the fire quenched by one stark question. What do we do with it? I look at Kurisu. She too seems less than enthused. We may have created a monster here. I look at the improved phone wave again. The biggest change is the headgear attached to the X whatever. Huh. Looks like something out of a low-budget cyberpunk movie. Fortunately, we don't need nerve jacks or brain chips for it to work. We just put it on and let the sensors do the rest. Why don't we decide what to call it first? I vote Heavenly Express. Fuck no. Phone Wave 3rd Edition version 1.00. Silly hat, Phone Wave Chan. No consensus. You guys have too much free time. Does that mean you're abstaining from the vote? Time leap machine. That's terrible. Come on, simple is best, right? I mean, that's what Okabe's been calling it from the past few days. Looks like my assistant has 0 naming sense. I don't want to hear that from a Chinabum head case like you. It's also what it fucking is. It's a time leap machine. Oh, so she's known the words Chinobuyu. I sense your otaku level is quite high. Wait, hold on. Wait, shit! It's been so long since I've done this. What the fuck am I doing? Is that Dara's voice? It's like, yeah, man, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what Dara's voice is. I don't know. I heard it from a friend. I have no idea where it comes from. A bald-faced lie. Okay, yeah, that is how you spell bald. I don't know why, for some reason, I thought you spelled it with an O. She should just confess to being a Nat channeler. Like, it's a big fucking deal. She used the internet. Oh my god. Stop the presses. A genius girl uses the internet. Kurisu meets my grin with an icy glare. It's up to you, Mayuri. Choose one. Whenever the lab is divided on a name, the right to this side belongs to Mayuri. I think Time Leap Machine is fine. Silly hat Phone Wave Chan is super close though. Somehow I knew she'd say that. Like I said, simple is best. Mayuri gets it. I want to object, but it's an unwritten rule not to complain once Mayuri's made a decision. Very well. Time Leap Machine it is. Because that's what it fucking is. And naming it almost anything else would be kind of stupid. Assistant, explain to us how the Time Leap Machine works. I know the basis, but I want to hear the details. Greasy knows it says in front of the whiteboard. In short, this device converts memories to data and sends them to the past. Let's begin with what we all know. By freak coincidence, the phone wave is able to produce ring singularities, much like John Titor's time machine. Through the ring singularity, we are able to send up to 36 bytes of data to the past. The signal can only be retrieved by phones. While that does limit the range of effect, it also removes an element of uncertainty from the equation. Unlike D-mails, memory data is sent in the form of a phone call So we will be using a phone number, not an email address to send to destination. The ring singularity is made naked and stable by a device known as a lifter. In our case, that's the 42-inch CRT downstairs. She explained the basics. Next, she'll explain the modifications she made to turn the phone wave into a time leap machine. The phone wave now has a headgear attached. Oh, that's what it was. I was like, I'm hearing a noise. Where the fuck is it coming from? The headgear records the nerve's impulse on the temporal lobe of the brain, specifically the C83 region of the hippocampus where memories are stored. Then using VR technology, we encode the nerve impulse into electrical single data. It comes out to approximately 3.24 terabytes. 3.24 terabytes. It's less than I expected. We're talking about the entirety of a person's memory. By the way, we'll set it up so that data decodes automatically after a certain amount of time. Anybody well versed in programming can do this. I had Hadashi make the code. Anyway, next we send the memory data through the net to the LHC in France. The building has a direct line to CERN for some reason, so we can transfer data at instantly high speeds. How long does it take to send 3.24 terabytes of data? We have 64 direct lines in parallel, so we've sent it in 64 parts. Should upload in about 45 seconds. That's pretty fast. Next, we hijack the LHC, create a mini black hole, and use that black hole's supergravity to compress the data into 36 bytes. 3 terabytes is about 3 trillion bytes. Compressing that into just 36 bytes. It's one hell of a squeeze. Will the compression take long? It's practically instantaneously. 23 milliseconds of a thereabouts. We're using the black hole after all. By the way, the compression only holds in the immediate vicinity of the black hole. Once the data leaves that area, it will begin to decompress on its own. This too takes 23 milliseconds. It has to make it back to X whatever and into the phone wave within that window. It's only 36 bytes. Shouldn't be a problem. No, fuck! It's only 36 bytes, shouldn't be a problem. Continue, Christina. While the data is being compressed, we use the phone wave to generate a curve ring singularity. When the electron discharges phenomenon occurs, we take the 36-byte data, patch it in, and send it to the past. This part is just like a D-mail. The data travels to a specific time where it arrives at the recipient's phone. By now, 23 milliseconds should have passed, so the data will be fully decompressed. Next, the decoding program runs, converting the data back into the nerve impulse signals. These signals are discharged from what? That's not like the whole 2-2 thing or the. I don't think from is one of those things where you can have them side to side like that. It should be these singularities are discharged from the phone wave's earpiece at approximately 0.02 amperes, a pretty weak charge. If the recipient has the phone in his ear, they should go straight into his brain, assuming he answers his phone. If he doesn't, the transfer fails. Fortunately, we lose nothing but that copy of the memory's data. Why a phone call instead of an email? Because we need the recipient to put the phone to his ear, otherwise the signals won't reach his temporal lobe. She indicates the side of the head. In this area you have the frontal lobe and temporal lobe of the brain. As I explained before, the hippocampus, where memories are stored, is inside the temporal lobe. The phone sends out electrical impulses that pass through the temporal lobe and into the hippocampus, overriding the recipient's memories. At the same time, the phone sends impulses that stimulate the frontal lobe as well. This is important. Remember that the frontal lobe is responsible for sending For sending retrievable signals to the temporal lobes. This is how you remember things. By stimulating the frontal lobe, we force it to send the signals keyed into the new memory data. Thus, the recipient recalls all of those memories as if they were his own, which of course they are, or will be in the future. This happens in less than a second. Now the recipient has the same memories as the sender. The time leap is complete. If the data came from 1 week into the future, the recipient will remember that week as if he experienced it firsthand. We need to be aware that consciousness and personality aren't transferred. Both of those depend on the recipient. Explain it with boobs. What the fuck? Boobs? Grisu dissolves into a blushing, stammering mess. Looks like it's up to me to answer Daru's questions. Not with boobs, obviously. Let's say we send your memory to you in grade school. Right now, you're making some kind of omnisexual pervert who thinks inanimate objects are hot. But in elementary school, you were still an innocent child. I was a boring little bastard who did nothing but study. What of it? Basically, that little bastard would suddenly have all your perverted memories, but his personality wouldn't change. It's not like you'll become the famous anime detective with the looks of a child and brains of an adult. What? That sucks. This isn't like the time leaping you see in sci-fi novels. We aren't yet capable of transferring personality and consciousness. Ahem. Since you need a phone to receive the signals, you can only send memories to the times you had one. We also need to make sure that the sender and recipient are the same person. If someone besides your past self, your parents, or a friend, for instance, answers the phone, then the nerve impulse signals will be projected into their brains instead. If that happens, your memories could overwrite theirs, which could obviously cause serious damage to their psyche. Grisu ends her explanations and takes a short breath. The lab falls into a silence. I exchange his glance with Grisu and Daru. I look at Mayuri, but her expression is blank. I guess it was too complicated for her. So, clear my throat. It's time for the $1,000,000 question. What do we do with it? Do with what? The time leap machine, of course. What do we do with it? For once, my assistant has nothing to say. I already know that she fears we've created a monster. Honestly, I feel the same way. After a few moments, Grisu finally speaks. It's too much for us to handle, that's for sure. The safest thing would be to hand it over to the government for professional research. I can tell that she's not pleased to have reached this conclusion. She obviously would prefer to experiment with that technology. After all, it's humanity's first time machine. We've finally taken our first step towards godhood. I'm sure that the nations of the world would pay billions for just one look at our machine. The possibilities that it represents are limitless. It just doesn't feel real. Mayushi doesn't get it. That's because you didn't work on it, Meishi. Oh, right. What about you, Okabe? And I mean you, not Hyo and Koyoma. I agree with Grisu that the time leap machine is dangerous. On the other hand, I want to experiment. I state my honest feelings. Grisu gasped. But there are still questions we need to answer. This is unknown territory, not just for us, but for all of humanity. Who will time leap? I look to each of the lab members in turn. Daru quickly looks away. Mayuri's expression is blank. Grisu stares right back at me. It's hard to choose. I'll pass. Not a single person here wants the honor of being history's first time traveler. Everyone, except for Mayuri, is probably thinking about what could go wrong. What if the time leap were to fail? It's not like CERN's time machine. The possibilities of becoming a jellyman is zero. This machine sends data, not the real thing. Don't let your preconceptions influence your decision. You might say it's like a cut and paste of your brain. Actually, it's more like a copy paste, and it's just your memories. The original doesn't get erased. That's a very easy to explain. That's a very easy to understand explain. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? That's very easy to understand. That's a very easy to understand explain. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, please, please. I know Steins Gate 0 is going to come out for Windows at some point. And other stuff, I think, in the North America here. But for the love of God, do not have these kinds of mistakes in it. This is... Like this one takes the cake out of all of them, I think. Dear God. But that's not the problem. The problem is the fucking translation here. Time flows in a straight line from past to present to future. At least that's how most humans see it. This raises several questions. What if there's an error somewhere and the data itself gets fractalized? Let's say I send my memories an hour into the past. My memories would be replaced by fractalized data. In other words, data full of tiny holes. Could that cause memory loss? I suppose. 1 hour later, we arrive once again at the present. At that time, the me who lost his memories an hour ago and the current me conflict in my brain. Which data set survives? Logically, the present should change as soon as you send your memories to the past. The conflicting current me disappears then. So then, it's not a copy-paste at all, is it? I don't know. No one's ever experienced time travel before. When we send a email, the world is reconstructed based on the changes we made to the past. The only one who's aware of this, however. We don't know if that happens when you time leap. If it's the many world interpretation, like Tyler said, then the instant you time leap, it creates two possibilities. One where you shift to another world line, and one where you travel back in time on the same world line. Of course, there must also be a world line where the current you doesn't disappear. That would likely correspond to the present that we are experiencing right now. But that's only if the many-world interpretation holds in the first place. I thought you didn't believe what Tyler had to say. I'm talking hypothetically. Tyler doesn't matter right now. If it's the Cohenhagen interpretation, then every possibility state propagates through space as a wave function. When a particular state is observed, the remaining state collapses and that state is fixed. But perceived observation is impossible. The problem is who the observer is in this case. Wouldn't it be a third party, like me or Meishi? Not necessarily. It might be me. It might be someone else. It could even be God. To begin with, the Copenhagen interpretation and the many worlds interpretation are both micro-scale theories used to explain quantum interactions. No one knows whether they could be applied to humans or the world at large. What about my personal experience with Steiner? If Steiner is the sort of power I think it is, then the world line model is correct. In the end, we arrive at the question of where is the self? This time leap machine only sends memories. That I guarantee. Won't the present be reconstructed at the moment of transfer? That's what happens with Orkarin's reading Steiner, right? That makes sense where D-mails are concerned. When we send a email, we're obviously interfering in past events. But time leaping is different. All you do is send your memories to the past, which isn't the same thing as sending a targeted email. Whether the me who suddenly remembers 1 hour into the future will in fact change the past is something we couldn't know until it happens. I'm getting confused. It sounds like we're talking about the soul. Isn't that a religious question? I feel like I had a different voice for Daru, but I guess for now I'll have to stick with what I have. Wait, you guys are misunderstanding something. 1 hour isn't enough time for your personality to change. You should be the same person 1 hour ago that you are now. The only difference is that you'll have an exact hour's worth of memories. How could you be sure? Well, I can't. Nobody tried it before. This discussion's going nowhere. Personality and consciousness can't be strictly defined, so it's hard to imagine what might happen. So, which is it? We don't know. We can agree that theory is all we want, but in the end we can only guess. This experiment may end up shattering perceptions scientists and philosophers have held for centuries. We won't know until we try. That pretty much sums it up. To make matters worse, the subject must be prepared to risk damage to their psyche. Daru and I say no more. We can't solve this problem. This is our limit of scientists. But haven't we accomplished enough already? The time leap machine itself is worthy of a Nobel Prize. We could sell this technology for billions if we so choose. And if we go public with the time leap machine, we can break CERN's monopoly on time travel technology. That's enough. It has to be. Hey! Mayuri, who has been observing this discussion with glassy eyes, opens her mouth to speak. I have an idea. Why don't we make a banana time leap instead? Oh, Mayuri. Bananas don't have brains like people do. Oh, you need a brain, huh? Mayuri never changes. The atmosphere in the room gets a little more relaxed. Let's not experiment. We'll entrust the time leap machine to a suitable research institution. Then we'll announce it to the world. Thanks to the lightning of the mood, I can finally say what was on my mind. Neither Kurisu nor Daru objects. No one's touched the time loop machine since that discussion. Alright guys, well, I think I'm going to end it right here. There's not really much else I can... I mean, we could keep going, but I think I'll run a little more course. But yeah. Anyway guys, I want to thank... anyway guys, if you like this video, please give that like button a click. Comment down below what you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video. And let me know, what would you do? Would you want to experiment on this thing? Or would you like leave it to someone else more capable of it? And as always guys, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a beat. And subscribe to my main channel too, it's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both my main Twitter and the RPG Kingdom Kid Twitter are in the descriptions too. I want to thank you all so much for watching once again. And I'll see you all next time.